Let's speak now to Sharon George, who's a senior lecturer in environmental science at Keele University in the UK. Welcome to the News Hour. Sharon, your reaction to this report and the key findings that seem very, very worrying indeed.
It is very worrying. It's a very grim read, to be honest. I think any gains that were made over the pandemic, people changed their habits, we used energy in different ways, and there were some drops in CO2. But all of that is just a blip, and that's kind of been lost in natural variation. All of the trends that we're seeing are going in one direction and all in the wrong direction, and it's looking very unlikely now that we're going to remain within the limits that are recommended to prevent catastrophic climate change without very drastic action.
And we're just 2 months away from COP26 in Glasgow. Surely hearing this will shake up what policy makers are planning right now, surely.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, there isn't really any room for interpretation now. The predictions are that we're going to that 1.5 degree limit that we're kind of aiming for to reduce how bad climate change can get. We're going to smash right through that in 5 years if we don't do something really drastic really quickly now. And this isn't a problem that is going to be solved by just reducing or having a little bit of efficiency here and there. We're now in the position that we need to take drastic action in the way that we produce, the way that we consume, and the way that we just view climate change and the relationship with the gases that we're producing. And it's not just CO2. There are other really important greenhouse gases that are not really being talked about, such as methane. And methane has a huge role to play. And these gases stay in the environment for a long time, and they build up cumulatively. And which is one of the problems that we have is a lot of the time the targets that we have are in the future, and in the meantime, it's kind of a green light to keep producing these gases, and we really haven't got that time now. We need to be reducing. We need to drastically cut the emissions right across the board.
And you mentioned methane being of huge concern and that it isn't talked about a lot. What can be done right now and not in the future, if at all?
Well, a major source of methane is farming. And, one of the biggest things that we can do to address methane is to look at farming practices, to look at more sustainable farming, and maybe to reduce the amount of meat that's produced and move more towards vegetarian diets. And doesn't necessarily mean completely, but having this production that we have right now is driving methane production around the world. Methane is a very, very potent CO2 gas that does track with CO2, and it remains in the atmosphere for a long, long time. So I think we need to look at we focus on fossil fuels, but we need to look at more than that. We need to look at right across the board at transport, at agriculture, at manufacturing, and of course on a personal level what we can do.
Really great to speak to you as always, Sharon George from Keele University in the UK. Really appreciate it.